Why don't we start off? You guys tell us how you got doing what you're doing.
How much? How long you got?
Just the sample.
How long you got? I started doing mechanic work when I was about 13. My dad's done mechanic work all his life. I started doing mechanic work when I was about 13. My dad's done mechanic work all his life. I guess about when I got my license or permit, Dad's always had Jeeps. He had a CJ5. I always rode around there. We rode URs here close to the house. And then when I got my license, I started out in a little four-wheel drive S10 truck and always just enjoyed four-wheel drive. Played in the mud a long time before I started into the trail riding stuff. But, so it kind of escalated, snowballed from then, because once I got into it, I couldn't get back out of it. And so, and then getting into the Jeeps. So I worked at Galloway's four-wheel drive out of high school for several years and doing their lift kits and repairs and stuff, and still helping my dad too, because he's had a business most of his since I was 13. And I don't know, it's kind of been one of my loves. For the four-wheel drive part has been one of my loves for a long time. And then like I say, getting into the Jeep, especially started out in a Cherokee, and we built probably 15 Cherokees for myself, and then fixed them up, wheeled them, sold them. Somebody come up and say, "Hey, you want to sell it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. If I can make a little bit of money, it can go." So we never really wheeled too much other than URs, which is about 30 minutes from us, till here recently, when I actually decided to build the TJ about 2 years ago and keep something and not sell it. Then we got out to Windrock, and then hopefully this year we're going to venture out farther on the East Coast and do some events where Tanner's at and stuff. So,
why is it Squatchy Off-Road? Where did you come up with that name?
Well, we always, for longest time, enjoyed the Bigfoot, Sasquatch stuff, and that was just, I like to be different, have different stuff, and it just one day we was talking about, my dad was always Boss Enterprises, and we wanted to change it up. I run a long time doing side work under that, and was like, if we're going to get into this more or less, we need our own name and everything. And so we was riding the road one day, actually, and just like, she's like, "What you want to name it?" I was like, "Well, we like the Sasquatch. Let's do." We'd already named the Jeep Squatchy. I was like, "Let's do Squatchy Off-Road, something different. Use a Sasquatch for our logo." And go with it.
That's fun. That's fun. Sometime if you ever see our logos that we have on, like our motorhome and our Jeeps and stuff with the mountains and everything, there'll be Sasquatch hidden in there.
Yeah, everybody likes, well, I say everybody, but a lot of people like Sasquatch and all that.
Yeah.
So
it's just fun.
That is fun.
Something different kind of catches your eye.
Okay.
Just like we got a big Sasquatch on the building out front, so.
Fun. And you're building, and I mean, you're doing a new venture here, right? You just started, you're full-time gonna do this now. You got that, oh my gosh, are we gonna eat ramen noodles the rest of our lives fear?
Yes.
The good thing is she still has full-time job, so that's a good thing.
Ask me how I know about that fear, and it's 18 years in already for us, and I can totally relate.
Well, I done about between 15 and 20 years on the side, and it just got where it's so much. Everybody's bringing stuff, and you working 40, 50 hours a week at a regular job, and then trying to come to shop work 30, 40 hours a week, it's a lot.
That's where ours started.
Yeah, Bob, I don't know if you know, Bob was active duty military, and he did this on the side all the time in our garage. And so then when he finally got out of the military, he said, "Oh, I'm going to do this." And he only fed his hobby before, anything he did, he made money, it all went right back into his vehicle. And finally when he said, hey, I'm going to do this full time. I was like, you know, we need money. We need money.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
just be putting this
Yeah.
back into your trucks and your Jeeps and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for you guys to get going. I remember those days. So you can tell, how do we know you?
Well, I guess we've been involved for about 2 years now.
Uh-huh.
Started out being a train master.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, y'all took me in. And we have pretty much everything body armor wise on the Jeep that y'all make. So
That's good.
and now we're dealers for y'all.
Yep,
So,
yep. I'm excited to watch that grow and partner with you to do that. What's your favorite TNT product?
I mean, I like them all, but one of my favorites is the front highline fenders. Just being made, I mean, much less being made in USA, but with the inner fenders being built on, it's so much easier, so much cleaner.
Yep.
I got a buddy that's got a set of motor built, so we just put on, and
It looks good.
Looks
but,
good,
you know,
but
it's not the
too
same.
many pieces to put together. It's just so much cleaner looking the way y'all do them. So
Yeah.
The highline, and I like the Phantom flare but you still got that round tube on the outside. And I like the sliders too.
Yeah.
We've reused the sliders, the Guardian. We got the Guardian sliders without the steps.
Yep.
And the way they tie into the body mounts and all that, and they kind of protect everything.
Yeah.
That's two of my favorite things that we'll put on the Jeep, other than the stretch armor and the bumpers.
Well, okay. We got some Squatchy love there. That's good. So you're talking about the armor. Of course, you use this vehicle. It gets wheeled, right? Where's your favorite place to go wheeling?
Well, it used to be yours because that was our main thing. But since we've actually kept something that I've built and ventured out to Windrock, Windrock's our favorite place right now.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite trail out there?
15 is pretty much my favorite right now. It's short, but it's kind of got some technical spots in it. And it changes with the weather.
I've been there. Jason hasn't been there. I know Tanner's been there.
Well, you need to come to the Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion with Tanner this year. Right?
Yeah, I think that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. I am itching to go back east. It's been a while since we've been back there. We got lots of people we'd like to go see. And, you know, I'll tell you honestly, starting wheeling out here, we've been in Wyoming 30 years. I always think, oh, there's no wheeling back east, you know. Right.
A couple places.
Yeah.
Well, I think y'all get more of the crawling out there because everything bites better. But
we have tracking.
So you get a little crawling here and a little
mud,
what I call balls to the wall, because you're
pinball.
You got to get on it to get up some of the stuff.
I see Tanner's commenting that Bob needs to get his TJ done. That's what we need for back there. Yeah. It's definitely more friendly for the smaller vehicle, not the JK or the Gladiator or whatever, you know.
Tanner's talking about getting his done. Tanner's got to get his done.
Yeah. Tanner needs to get his put back into shape. That's right. He's in pieces too.
And you're getting your parts.
Yeah, all my parts ordered to come in.
Yeah.
Me and Tanner, whenever they got here, so mine's fixing to be in pieces too. So.
Oh boy. So
very shortly.
So it's the time of year we're all supposed to be hunkering down and getting that done, isn't it? And then be ready for the trail. Yeah, I see Steve is on here from Jack to Jeep. He's like, Windrock is on his list. His Jeep's over at our shop right now getting all redone. So
yeah, we've been watching it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. I don't know. You put it all together, then you got to take it all apart and paint it and put it all back together again. So, yeah.
Well, that's mine. We kind of painted mine when we done all the armor.
Yeah.
And me and my dad painted it, but it don't match all together with the rest of the Jeep. So it needs to be all took apart and just paint the whole thing one time.
Yeah.
And start fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, once we get it all done, maybe we'll do that. But
they seem to be never-ending projects, you know.
Yeah.
That always happens. All right, so I guess I was just glancing at my list that Tanner had on here, and one of the other things was, why do you wheel? I always like to ask that question. Why do you wheel?
Wheeling is like a stress relief for me. I always like the outdoors. I don't like being inside. I tried to work an inside job. I mean, I'm in the shop now, but you can raise the doors and all that. But I prefer outside. So you get outside, get to meet new people. And it's just a stress relief. I can have a real stressful day and get out and wheel, and then it's just all the stress is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you feel like you got stress to worry about tearing something up. Then you don't really care.
I think that's a lot of common answer with a lot of us, you know.
And I like to see what, especially mine built stock by me. I like to see what it will do. Any of the things I've built, I like to go out and put it to the test, and then I'm like, okay, it's pretty good, or I need to change this or that. So I like that part of it too. Keeps me going. And I had some 2 friends. They both actually took their own lives, and they both wheeled, and so that kind of keeps me going, keeps me wheeling too. One of them, I always kept selling my stuff, never got to wheel with him. We hung out some, and he had a shop, but we never got to wheel together. So now keeping this, I'm kind of wheeling for them too. We're both really good friends.
You tend to meet a lot of like-minded people when you can get out on the trail.
That's right.
And you know, that's always fun to involve all those other people. Do you have a favorite wheeling story?
Probably my favorite. I mean, I've got a bunch of them, but I guess my favorite right now is our first trip to Windrock was actually last year with some of our friends. And they've rode Jeeps side by side there for years, but our first trip out with them just to get to see Windrock, everybody talked about it, but it was a great trip.
Beautiful.
And, you know, just to see the beautiful, even just the scenery from Windrock, some of the views and stuff, but and a variety of different trails up there, anything from dirt road riding to, you know, rock bouncer trail you can be on. And
how far is that from you?
It depends on which way we go. About 5 hours, 5.5.
That's not bad. Not bad.
No, it's not too bad.
No. Out here, everything's 5 hours.
We wasn't even a wheeling trip, but I guess one of my favorite things too was like we took New Year's, and went up there and was set on the overlook and cooked soup and stuff off the back of her Jeep, kind of like a little overlanding thing. We went there and hung out for New Year's, so that was
with friends of ours.
Fun.
That was a good memory.
Yeah.
We like to do a little bit of both.
People bugging my phone. And then what do you want to ask us? What do you think some questions you might want to ask TNT?
Well, we know what the TNT stands for, and you may have covered it before, but I wonder how you come up with that name also for the This and That Customs.
Well, it goes back. It was Bob. I gotta say, I didn't have any say on what that name was going to be, but back when he was when he was still active duty in the military, he built a lot of vehicles, right, including our own. We had an old CJ8 Scrambler with all kinds of things, whatever. And we were at the local Dodge dealer, had a show one Saturday, and we were down there, and Bob was busy talking to people, and our daughter was in the booth with him. And I think at the time she was maybe about 12 years old-ish. Yeah, that's about right. And somebody come up to her and asked her what was on the Jeep, you know, what some of the stuff that was on that Scrambler that we had. And she said a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Oh, that's the best.
And so that stuck in Bob's head. And so he said, I'm going to call it this and that. So
love that.
That's where he came up with that name. So it's kind of a little different. It wasn't quite a Johnny Cash song of a Jeep, you know, where there's like, you know, all of it, but it had quite a bit of different things.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so that's where we came up with this and that. And then over the years, it's been, our website has always been TNT Customs. Not This and That Customs, always been TNT. But so then over time, we just kind of shrunk it down and got logos and everything and got it all switched to that. And now here we are. Still figuring things out 18 years later. Yeah. Yep, you got it, Steve. He said 51, 52, 53, 54. We joke because there's a few Jeeps out there that we know are like that. So the CJ and YJ, this all together. So little this, little that. So that's where we did. Hey, why did you change your motto? Our motto, which is master our terrain. Why? Well, we didn't. I don't. Well, yeah, we did have from the beginning. Bob's first original catchphrase was "You dream it, we can build it." That was his first. But the master your terrain. It was when we were working with our guy to design our logo, which if you guys don't know this, if you know Axel Stammel from Axel Off-Road, Marvin's dad. We worked with Axel because he ran an advertising agency back then, and we had lunch with him in Atlanta one day. We went over there and we were just sitting around throwing things out there. We wanted a catchy phrase that kind of described who we were. And I remember saying to Axel, what's another word for off-road? What do they use in German for off-road? Because, they're German by heritage. I said, I don't want to be like everybody else and say off-road or whatever, master off. And he said terrain was a word that they say in German. And I was like, terrain. Well, that's great. I like terrain because that could be anything. Your terrain could be a different terrain. And so that's how, then we sat there a little bit more, had a beer, had some lunch, and all of a sudden we came up with the master your terrain. And that's stuck. We really like it because it applies to whether you're crazy off-roader or you're overlander or you're soccer mom or whatever. We want to help you master your terrain. And then, of course, the next thing was the terrain masters. That just came off of that, it just said simply, and it just keeps on going. So that's where that came from. I don't foresee us changing our slogan. Nobody's got one like that, so we're gonna keep that one. So
I love that.
I wish we would have. I wish we would have copyrighted Trail Boss back in the day, because now which truck company is this? Chevy puts Trail Boss on.
Wow.
I mean, Bob's been Trail Boss for decades, and we should have copyrighted that one. Yeah, I've seen it on their trucks. I was like, oh man.
Should have trademarked that one. We wouldn't have to work it now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you don't know, if it says he's Trail Boss, I always say then I'm the shop boss. So
I love it.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know what else you got any. So why don't you show everybody your Jeep? Can you do that? Can you show them what you did?
I did
Okay.
have one more question.
Oh.
What's your question? Uh-oh, she's rolling her eyes.
I want to know why you hired Tanner.
That's the usual question.
He's
a great guy. And sometimes people just fall into your lap where you need them to fall, right?
Well, that's like for the first time I talked to him when I got involved. It's just like I clicked with him. And then meeting him and hanging out with him, it was just like, I got another friend. It's just
Robert Beck,
he's very personable, very personable, very very helpful, and he's a great guy. Even very knowledgeable too.
Yes, he knows more about it than I do usually.
He kind of taught me out of doing a 1-ton swap on my Jeep this year too. So
yeah.
He's like, I got JK axles. He said your axles is about the same as mine, because the kind of people hate on me for running a 10-bolt Chevrolet in the rear, a new model, but chrome ollies. And Tanner's like, it's all about our wheeling.
That's right.
He said, we're not out there bouncing. We're wheeling, So.
Well, and that's what, if you're a newbie and you call, one of the first things Tanner, Bob, anybody who talks to you is, what do you want to do with your Jeep? Don't just throw parts at it because your buddy had this or somebody had this. Right. What do you want to do? And then we can work with you to get your Jeep to be what you want it to be. Take it where you want to take it. And Tanner's very good at that. I always tell him, he says we're going to be doing some podcasts and stuff soon. I was telling him that's because he has a face for radio, so we got to keep him behind the scenes.
Bless his heart.
we give him a hard time.
Well,
I
I'm
love
on
that.
I'm on 40s, and I've always liked to be different. We used to pull back to back a lot and play in the mud, and we've always run 10 bolts. The old 10 bolts, they kind of suck. They fly apart, but the new models is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we run a Tahoe rear out of a Tahoe with disc brakes and 30 spline chromoly shafts, and we're on 40s. And
Tanner,
It
well,
works till it don't.
run a year on 37s, and then last year on 40s, and kind of beat on it last year. And
good.
so far, knock on some wood somewhere, I've been
That's good.
happy with them.
Yeah.
And you keep weight down over time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
but there again, I'm with Tanner. It's all about how you wheel it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I like to be a little more
even,
technical than
yeah.
Let the Jeep do the work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the best built rig can break if you don't know how to drive,
oh yeah.
as we know.
Multiple times.
Yeah, Tanner's new slogan is he has a personality for the people. I told him
He does.
He does.
I told him the other day that he said something about people in our organization having titles, and I said, well, everybody should have a title, a job description and a title, and blah, blah, blah. I said, but you just do too much. I can't wrap it all into one. And then I told him now he's my customer relations manager. Customer relations.
You keep adding stuff to him. You got to give him a raise.
I know. No, I gotta pay for him to go wheeling more. How about that? That would make him happy.
Yep.
So, yeah. Well,
He's very good out and about with everybody. So
and Crystal, you got any questions or fears or anything about jumping into this thing?
Oh, lots. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, but I mean, he's been doing it for so long. We couldn't do it that way anymore. So you kind of had to choose.
Yeah.
So we tried to be as responsible and do all the things and all the stuff. That's why I'm still working.
Yeah.
So, but it's a lot. That's not the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
We want more. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll get there.
she actually designed our logo on the way to Tennessee one weekend.
Oh, nice.
Going up the road.
Nice.
And it from what, a year from, we done a little video when we was up there. We had our jamper that we built with us. We went to a Sasquatch, the first Sasquatch event thing they had. And we done a little video about things to come. And we kind of started praying, and God just kind of laid everything, within a year, laid everything out. And we was able to come full time. So
that's great.
And we're at my dad we built this shop when I was 17, so, and he's retired, so he's just kind of helping me now and letting me kind of take over the shop.
Good,
so.
good.
We're super fortunate, super fortunate and blessed to have the shop already established.
Good.
People know that they can come here for that and
Yeah.
all of that. So the only reason I did it on the interstate on the trip is because I didn't have any other time with him. I literally had to make lists of what we needed to go over because
I do
we were
that
at the shop 7 days
I
a week.
do that.
And
And
it never ends.
and anybody that
It
knows
never
Bob knows Bob just wants to drive. He doesn't want to be bothered with any questions about anything.
Oh,
But
no.
it's your time that you're
Yes.
trapped in the vehicle and you're like,
That's
Down
right.
the road we
what
go.
about this and what about that? And then sooner or later he'll
Yeah.
just look at me like, all right, that's enough. I need my
Okay.
I need my zone. In my zone. So,
Well, we took shirts and folded them and packaged them on our 25th anniversary in the mountains.
Yes.
So
You got to do what you got to do.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
If you want it, you'll
it's
do
nice
it.
to get away, but you still got to do some work stuff.
I know.
When you got to.
I know I get told, man, you gotta eat lucky you get to go wheeling all the time. I'm like, you know what I do behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't imagine.
Shop mechanic,
And that's
camp mechanic.
That's Crystal. She works full time still.
Yeah.
So works full time, does our YouTube stuff, our book
Yeah.
work, and
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
hopefully get a year or so under my belt, and maybe we can do something.
Yeah,
with
I
her.
think we were 5 years in when I finally gave up my because
Yeah, pretty close around.
started in 2005 and then in 2010 I stopped doing daycare full time, and I came on board full time. So I've been here since 2010. So that's 13 years. I've been full time. So
Wow.
and
So
Steve,
now we need a 5-year goal.
Yeah, we need a 5-year
Yeah.
plan.
Jack to Jeep
on that.
just said YouTube is full time. I mean, those videos that
It
takes
is.
a lot. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But then at some point you have to figure out, like, is my time well spent doing that? Or,
absolutely,
you know, because Lane's the only one that works here. I mean, his dad helps him when he can, but
yep.
But when you're trying to do
Yeah.
quotes and
Yep.
order parts,
Yep.
and you spend half the day doing that, and then half the day working, and so
And then,
you end up working late trying to
And I
get
remember
caught back up with stuff.
the first time
That never ends.
we hired somebody, I was like, okay, all right, we got to hire somebody because you're too busy, but can we pay this person? And every time I hire somebody, I say, you got to pay for yourself. You have to pay for yourself. If you're not earning enough money to pay for yourself, I can't keep you, you know, you have to pay for yourself. And you keep adding and adding and
Replacing and adding.
throwing and adding and
that costs twice as much.
yeah,
Really.
yeah,
Yeah.
but figure it all out. So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being small either. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of times I think, I think you have more money when you stay smaller.
And that's my thing. Some days Dad helps me some, but his health is on and off. So sometimes I'm like, man, it'd be nice to have somebody else. But then I'm like, okay, that's a headache of having to pay somebody else and make sure you got enough work and make sure there's somebody you can trust while you're gone, wheeling or doing something to do everything. So.
And yes, Steve, he asked if I think Sean pays for himself. Yes, Sean pays for himself and then some. Yes. And yes, Tanner pays for himself too. Everybody here, they all do more than one job around here. Everybody has to. That's what it is. If you're a small business, everybody has to do a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what makes it work.
Yep. Yep. So, you got any questions for Squatchy TJ? If you don't know, this is our son, Jason. He's filling in for Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you, Jason.
So you're the Jason I've heard so much about
Mhm.
Tanner about doing all this design work.
Oh,
Yep,
the design.
Jason and Tanner do all the design work,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean,
Good
Bob, of course,
He
has
puts
to
his opinion in.
put his 2 cents in there, but but Jason draws it in CAD, and Tanner and Jake kind of tweak it a little with Jason, and then there it is. It fits. Boom. We can do it. So
Well,
It works.
y'all offer a good variety of everything for all the Jeeps and different stuff.
yeah,
The only thing I've talked to Tanner about, and I think he's talked to Jason, is about the rear bumper for the TJs over the cross member, the actual bumper option. I got a lot of people that like my cross member. I'd rather have a kind of a bumper to it. So
Yeah, I'm working on that. Once you see Tanner's
I've seen
the
Tanner,
rear
that's what
half piece,
Yeah.
I'm working on reversing that into the rear cross to replacing the cross member with that rear faux bumper, if you want to call it. It's still going to be weld on, still be the same thing, but you'll have more than nothing behind the back of the Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got my armor in the same spot twice because it sticks out. My tires, of course, I'm hoping this stretch this time is going to help that some too for departure angle. But
yeah, that'll help. Yeah.
I got some nice marks on the rear corners.
Even in my
Better than not having armor at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even in my old
The armor
TJ
definitely holds up.
with the stretch, I still got the corners in that rear part with that cross member. It's just there's a lot that hangs back there that's not quite cut far enough back yet.
You should tip your head. We just got these today.
I was wondering
put
if
his
anybody
hand-
was going to notice.
It's got master terrain. We just got them in today. I ordered them in August.
Sweet.
And we finally
I
got
like
them.
that.
We got green ones and we got black ones. So pretty cool.
Yeah, I could use one of them.
Yeah. It took forever for those to come in, but I was like, oh, we finally
Looks
got
good.
them. Starting to think
Yeah.
we weren't going to get any. So yeah, we'll have to send you out one. Don't you have an order with us right now? Do you have an order? Or no?
You shipped it the other day, and
Yeah,
he's working on that. Tanner said he was working with Jason on the rear bumper.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at doing that on mine.
Okay.
In between doing 3 other parts that I'm designing at the same time.
Yeah, he's got that 2-door
It's a never-ending
JM.
cycle for you.
We got
I got that. I gotta get started on.
we have a 392
Yeah.
here that's getting a muffler skid.
He wants me to build a skid plate for
Designed.
the muffler so you don't smash the cutout muffler.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to know what that thing costs to fix it.
I need a couple hats. Steve's like, oh, save me some hats.
And then a new front bumper for the diesel Gladiator, because we had to lower the winch down, because in very fine print that Mopar won't tell you, if you read, you will find it. If anything is blocking the grill on the diesel, they void the warranty on the motor.
And
Yeah,
we got
for the air
Steve's fenders and
And then I
skid
got
plate.
Steve's fenders and skid plates for the CJ at the other shop that I'm working on. Yeah. I got a mess of parts that I gotta build.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Not at all. Yeah.
The muffler skid was easy though, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
just-
pretty much got that pretty quick.
And it helps when you can see things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If y'all want to see the Jeep, we can kind of walk you around.
Yeah,
it.
that'd be
Yeah.
good. Let's see it.
It ain't much, but it works pretty good. You can ask Tanner. It's decent.
Okay, let's
We
see
need
if I
like
can do
4
this.
Jasons. Yeah. And then Steve, after 4 Jasons, we need a bunch of people to finish all the behind the scenes for the product.
Mhm.
You got
All right.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
I'm on you.
So this thing started out, it was a bone stock 4-cylinder. So now it's got a 4.0 out of this is a 98 model. It's got a 4.0 automatic all out of a 97 model in it. But it's all TNT, the Highline Phantom Highline fenders, factory hood we cut, the TNT front bumper cut, of course worn. We like the worn products. It's got a factory 55, which I know y'all.
Yep.
Then we got a factory 55 ultra hook to go on it. We run Anorak, and it's got a high pinion 78 model high pinion Dana 44 in the front with Reed racing knuckles, barn steering kit. Y'all just sent me the track bar and the coil spring mount because it's all TNT truss. Y'all sent me the front stretch mount, so I got to cut all that off and move it.
You can't see. It's probably dark.
Tanner's put in on that order the front track bar like it's on his for the stretch so you miss the housing.
Yep.
Sliders, the Guardian sliders without the steps.
How do you get in that, Crystal?
I carefully
And she can
have a
actually,
handle.
she can actually, if this hole was a little bigger, she could put her foot in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can do it normally, but not with my boots.
Yeah.
So.
We got a Anorak, the rear. The rear's been, so the front's been stretched right now an inch forward. The rear's got a 5-inch stretch in it. It is Clayton long arm, just because I was always kind of fond of square tubing.
Hip to be square.
Yeah. Tanner sent me y'all outer mounts because I need to move them for the outboard shocks. All this is armor from y'all with the 40-inch openings, like kind of like what's on Tanner's.
We had a question. Somebody said, do you ever hit the steering can in the front?
The steering can.
I'm guessing
Oh,
that
you're talking about the steering box?
Yeah.
I have hit the steering box on stair steps on
Yeah.
Rock. That is one reason I am doing y'all's steering box stretch kit to turn it up. That was in on my order that come in, so we can turn that up out of the way and get the front. We plan to move the front at 1 to 2 more inches forward and the back 1 to 2 more inches back and try to get 102 wheelbase out of it. Because right now I'm at 99.5.
Yep.
So like I said, rear is a 2001 Chevrolet Tahoe rear. Both axles is 538 gears with Yukon Grizzly lockers, Yukon chrome moly shafts, 30 spline shafts front and rear. My little accident from Windrock on the rear cross member. I showed you pictures of it. I slid down.
I don't think I ever saw those lights smiling like that before.
No, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the tramp stamp or whatever. I can't remember what y'all actually call it.
Yeah.
Tag.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything. I think most of what y'all offer body armor wise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Looks like it.
We built this aluminum deck plate. Me and Crystal built it for
Nice.
the deck cover. And that was one of our buddies that owns Ruck Rack that makes some stuff. We use his basket to sit on the
That's
back.
nice.
We finally put PRP seats in it. We ordered them at Jeep Invasion. Tanner was actually with us when we ordered
Nice.
them. And y'all's cage kit, the starter kit. And we just got the front half of the cage done. We built on to replace some of the factory cage and build it in. My buddy Chris at Mars Fab, he does a bunch of custom buggies and stuff. He helped me do the cage. And we added in the back cage where my speakers are, with the crossbar.
Yeah. Same thing.
Cage.
It's the same thing I did to Tanner's before he decided to test drive it the same time he went home.
Oh, yeah. Did you, what do you have in your cargo area? Is that where your spare tire is? Underneath?
No, we don't have a spare.
No, 41.
We're in the spare on the
Oh,
trailer.
okay.
This is all my tool bags. Factory 55 recovery bag. I actually got a box, aluminum box in here. That's got all my oils, extra oils, gear oil, funnels, rags, different stuff in it.
Product testing was
Like
needed.
I say. And we come out with this has got spare parts in it, joints, steering joints. But we like these Rhino tool rolls.
Yeah.
Those are
all
nice.
my tools is in the Rhino tool rolls.
Yeah.
And then I got a sub. Gotta have the steering in it.
Yeah.
But we had a box. We had a storage box, but I couldn't put, when we go travel, like we drove from Windrock down to Jeep Invasion, which is an hour and a half. I wanted to ride with the doors off, but I wanted with me. I couldn't put the doors in the back, the half door, so we took the storage box out and put it in her JK and put all my tools and tool rolls and got now where I got room to put my doors in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
We kind of go prepared.
Yeah.
Try to
Yeah.
tools.
Yeah. And who made your, or where does the top come from? Because is it cloth on top of your back portion of your cage? Yeah.
All of this.
Yeah.
This is all best. This is all best top.
Okay.
It's their door uppers, their safari top, and this is, they offer two different kinds of this back piece, but it's like a truck topper.
Okay.
They actually have a soft tonneau cover that goes on it, but we didn't have to have it since we had the deck cover built.
Huh.
But this one actually, they offer one. This one hooks into your factory door surround.
Yeah, that's nice.
The other one just strapped fast, so you had air gaps. So this still keeps them.
Nice.
We still got air conditioning on this thing, so
Nice.
I put air back on it, so air and heat and all that works, and it kind of keeps it. It's got a little air gap up top where it straps to the roll bar, but pretty much it keeps everything out.
Yeah, I don't think I saw one that had the cover over the bed part and came down and closed it in. It did? Oh, okay.
Once me and James got done making it do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we custom. Yeah.
That's another thing about being different. You don't see too many set up where it kind of looks like a little truck.
Right. Right.
So we're on to now to all the TNT stuff we ordered to do the stretch now, and then replace the rear bumper and get some PRP seat belts and probably PRP steering wheel, and maybe be done
so
for a little while.
Suspension is a Clayton suspension. So do they make the arm? Do they make something so that your arms are going to be longer when you do your stretch in the front or the rear?
The rear is already stretch arms for 5 inches stretch, and my joints are run all the way in, so I have enough room to really move it. The front arms, I built the lowers.
Okay.
The upper is a Clayton arm, but I built the lowers, and I'm gonna buy tubing, and I'm gonna build the front arms
so that they'll work. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's gonna be longer, and I'm gonna redo the front drive shaft. It'll be a 2-piece drive shaft. My buddy Jason Vanover he kind of walked me through how to make a stationary shaft from the case to the front of my cross member and then do another drive shaft so it's not such a one piece.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, the suspension's Clayton. Their body whole skid underneath is Clayton. I do run rock crawler. Right now I have rock crawler 4.5-inch triple rate springs in it. So it's kind of a
Not quite a Johnny
to get
Cash
there.
song.
Yeah, kind of picked parts when I started building it before I got in so much of jaw and got all the body armor stuff. I kind of took parts I knew worked and put together how I wanted it to work. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it does
Good.
pretty good so far. I mean,
Yeah, good.
I can't go everywhere, but I have been places some of the guys on 1 tons couldn't go that I've been. So,
Yeah, that's always fun, isn't it? Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
But, people still hate on my 10-bolt rear end, but, we'll run it till it breaks.
Right.
I had, I guess $60 for it, and then I put chrome moly shafts and all Yukon and internals in it. So far, we'll see how far it goes. That was my plan, to build it and see how much I could beat it, especially when I went to 40s. So
Yeah.
Tanner's never going to push it to its limits this summer.
Yeah.
that's right. Let's go. Tanner.
Don't y'all jinx us, okay?
It's all how you drive.
That's
I
right.
said if I went to stickies, I would probably worry more about it. But even on 40s, and just the regular bias ones, I run it pretty hard this year and so far. I am gonna pull the shafts, pull it apart while I'm doing the stretch stuff. I'm gonna pull it apart and just make sure I haven't
Everything looks
twisted anything.
Good.
So
Good.
I want it kind of tip top to start this year out with.
Yeah.
Because we plan on, if everything works out, to be able to do a lot more wheeling this year.
Mm-hmm.
We actually we've wanted one for years, and I showed Tanner pictures of it. We bought a gooseneck with a slide-in truck camper on it for a crawler hauler.
Oh, yeah, he was asking earlier what you got. So you have a pickup camper on the trailer, and then the Jeep goes on the trailer, and then you can go.
Similar setup to Tanner's,
Yeah.
but it's open instead of
Yeah.
enclosed.
Yeah, ours is just open.
Yep. Yeah. Fun.
So we look forward to trying that out this year. So
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
And Tanner actually knows the guy that built the trailer originally.
Oh, yeah.
One of his guys, Seth, or somebody he knew. So when I showed him a picture, he's like, "Hey, I know who built that."
Of course he does.
I said, "Yeah, it's a small world, I guess."
Did Tanner mention to you Rockfest, anything like that in South Dakota? Are you going to be able to do that or no? Too far? Or what?
He mentioned it to us. I was going to look up last night how far it was.
It's only 5 hours for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, for y'all. Y'all are in Wyoming. It's like going to
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
We did talk a little bit last night because he said he would send me his list, and we're trying to get together more of a list and try to.
Yeah.
Because I told him, I said, anything that you'd like for me to try to make, I'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We want to get out that way anyway. But
Yeah.
Utah, Sand Hollow, and I was on the list for
Oh.
next year. I know.
Oh, yeah. That's a great place to go. Yeah.
But
You'd feel a lot more home in South Dakota, other than the whole traction part.
Yeah. Trees.
Tight trees.
Trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, do y'all still make the armor? I hadn't looked. Do y'all still make the armor for the
Yep.
side here?
Yeah.
I might have to invest in that too.
Most people
I need
wait till
door
they get a dent first, then they cover it up with that.
Yeah, I
don't
need
know
door
who
armor
did
and tailgate armor. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah. I know.
I know. I was the first one that did it. That's why we started making them.
most everybody gets a dent right
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's from the mirrors, from the door straps not being on it, and the thing swings around, knocks the dent in.
So that part's still vulnerable. It's only the side that's flat, technically, that panel cuts. So that indent, right
Yeah.
there is where it
Yeah,
is.
it goes around here.
But I took the side of my tub out about right where our logo is on your Jeep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I can cover that. Look, it's flat again.
The YJ one we have goes
The
up
YJ
over
goes
the cowl.
over, yeah. Because it doesn't have the goofy shape in the corner of the cowl right there.
Yeah, the YJ's just rounded
Yeah.
around. It ain't got.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got also. I didn't mention it's got a full PSC hydro assist kit
Yeah.
on it too. But if you want to see under the hood of it, what it looks like, we got a aluminum radiator and all that in it too. But
Yeah. It can help
anything else y'all
turn
want?
those 40s.
Yeah, that'll turn.
Well, actually, when we stretch it, then we're gonna do a AW4 swap, transmission swap out of a Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little more running at 538s. It's still trying to drive it on the highway some, but the AW4 is geared lower in first gear, and then I get overdrive with it on the highway.
Yep.
So do that too while it's down.
See, that's the stuff I don't know. Sure, whatever.
I'm having the trouble. You get a little converter heat gets hot, especially trying to climb the stair steps, cascades, whatever. Several people call it different at Windrock. I got on it last year and stood it up, and we've been riding all day, and it got hot, and I couldn't make it up because I didn't have enough go. So
What, gearing in the transfer case?
the transmission got hot, the converter.
Oh, what
It's
T
just
case is in it?
3-speed.
What T case are you running it?
It's still a 231.
So you're
case.
still only 272
Yeah, 272 one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Cherokee training, for Lacknam's term of knowledge, will help solve that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what everybody's told me. So that's and I always knew when I had Cherokees, I've had a lot more power, and I was like, man, this thing's kind of dead, even with 538s in it. We also looked at doing a JK Rubicon case, like Tanner running. Kind of hard to find one around here right now that ain't $2,000 or $3,000, and then I was willing to spend a little extra and buy Atlas
because it has a Rubicon price tag with it.
Yeah, exactly. I found one for $900 the other week and missed it. So rest of them $2,000 and up. I'm like, yeah, I'll just save up and do an Atlas or a Midnight Metal.
Yeah, I'll spend $700 more and have 3 times the transfer case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times they say spend once, cry once.
Yeah.
So
I think we're gonna oops. I think we're gonna get this wrapped up.
Yeah.
It's our lunchtime. It's past your lunchtime, so we're gonna go have some lunch, and I'm really glad we got to see you guys and get a little
Put you back in.
A little bit of tour of what you got going on, and we're wishing you the best of luck and hope 2023 is a great year for Squatchy Off-Road.
Thank you. We appreciate the support.
yeah, it's been great so far for, I guess, 6 months. It started July 1st full time. So
Yeah.
So far it's been awesome. I got work booked now till middle of March.
Awesome.
And more.
Awesome.
So.
That's great. That's great.
Less swaps and stuff, so do a little variety.
Good. Good.
All the fun things.
And then get out there and go wheeling. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for being part of the TNT team too. We're really appreciative of it. And one of these days, we're going to get out there and go wheeling with you guys too. Okay.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. And same out here. Never feel like you can't just call and say, hey, we're coming out. That'd be awesome. So we like that. Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Don't work too hard.
You guys too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.